Take a look at that juicy morsel right there. There we go. He's got it. Hello from the lake and welcome back to yet another kayak fishing video. Today's video is actually special because I am going to be fishing with a brand new bait from Mule Fishing, introducing the Burro Bug. This is a 1.8 inch micro craw presentation and I'm super thrilled to be fishing with it today. The other thing is it's a beautiful, beautiful day. Unfortunately, we've had a lot of rain recently, so the lakes are kind of high and the rivers and creeks are just totally blown out, so the fishing conditions haven't exactly been great, but I still trust we're going to catch a lot of fish today. The Burro Bug was really introduced to help multi-species anglers catch fish on a craw presentation. You know, there's a lot of craw profiles out there, but there's not a lot of micro craws, and there's definitely no micro craws that are available in that high stretch, high durability material that I use with Mule Fishing. So I think this is going to be a real winner, and I'm really excited to fish with it today. So I'm going to talk about this bait throughout the video, but I'm mostly just going to fish with it. And if you want to find out more about this bait, you can find more online at www.mulefishing.com, as well as the Mule Fishing YouTube channel. I'll link that video in the description below. I have an introduction video about it on there as well. So without further ado, let's start fishing. So the water is definitely high here, but it's not near as muddy as some of the bodies of water that I've been seeing lately. So I think the conditions look like they're going to be just fine. Now, the water temperature is still going to be pretty cold up here in Michigan, so I'm definitely going to have to fish pretty slow, but I trust I'm going to be able to catch them for sure. So the Burro Bug is available in 5 different colors, and I am actually fishing the pasture fire color, but it's also available in black and blue, ranch hand, which is like a nice pumpkin brown type color, green pumpkin black flake, and then a new color called rodeo clown, which is more of like a plum and June bug hybrid. It's a really cool color. I think it's gonna be awesome for stained water. And the reason I launched it in those colors is really to mimic crawfish in all conditions and really give options for clear all the way to dirty water. There we go. Well, that ain't much. What is that? Oh, cool. It's a yellow perch. Wasn't expecting my first species to be a yellow perch today. It's long and skinny. Looks like it needs to get a real meal. There you go. It's been a slow start to the morning, but like I said, that's kind of to be expected. This time of year, usually it gets best in the afternoon as it gets warmest in the day. Either way, we're on the board. Little tiny skinny yellow perch. I'm gonna go ahead and grab another rod and I'm gonna rig up a 1/32 ounce mule jig. It's just a slight change in weight, but it will definitely make a big difference with how much grass I'm getting on my jig. This workhorse jig kind of digs down into that vegetation because it's just a little bit heavier. The buoyant plastic paired with that 1/32 ounce mule jig should keep that bait right on top of the grass and not get too much gunk on it. I'm gonna grab one of these ranch hand burrow bugs. This is probably my most natural color. Oh, by the way, before I forget, these come 8 to a pack. And as always, don't forget, this is one of the big things about them. Very, very stretchy. These are actually symmetrical on both sides, so you can rig it on either side of the plastic. And that should really extend the life of the bait, because you can always, after you've rigged it one way, you can always flip it over and rig it the exact same way on the opposite side. There you have it. Nice little tasty morsel right there. There's one. Oh, it's another yellow perch. That's like a pretty decent little yellow perch right there. God, they're skinny in here. They really, they need to eat. It's a long fish, but he's really skinny, and look at that. He took that thing down quite well. The yellow perch is actually one of my lesser expected fish, to tell you the truth. There's a lot of lakes where I catch them, but this one I typically don't catch a lot of them, so kind of surprised. I definitely feel like I'm gonna get on some bass at some point, but so far it's been just pretty slow. But again, I definitely have high hopes for the next couple hours just because the sun is actually out and shining, and that makes a world of difference for largemouth bass in the early spring. All right, well, let's see what happens. There's one. It's another yellow perch, I think. Oh no, small bass. Well, speaking of bass, not exactly a giant by any means. It's about the size of a normal yellow perch, but we finally made a bass bite, and that's a good sign. Not exactly the size of the fish that I'm looking for, but to tell you the truth, this is a typical ultralight fish, so I'm not gonna be mad about it by any means. And it's a sign that the largemouth bass are gonna start getting a little more aggressive now that that sun's out. So, see ya, buddy. I trust we'll find one bigger than that today. There we go. That's gotta be, it's a bluegill. It's a nice bluegill. Oh, that's a big pumpkin seed. My goodness. Holy smokes. That's a big hybrid. Look at that. I was just saying how there's a ton of tiny bluegill in here, but the one thing I failed to mention is there are some big pumpkin seed and pumpkin seed bluegill hybrids, and that's exactly what that is. And that's my best fish of the day by far, and I love to see it. I better get a photo of this guy because that's a cool fish. Oh, that feels good to catch a fish like that. I was kind of ruling sunfish out, but I kind of forgot about these guys. There's definitely a few of these in here. Look at there. Kind of a pale fish. See ya, buddy. There's a bite. Got him. It's another one of those fish, but I think this one's a little smaller. No? Similar. Oh, a little bit smaller, but still a beautiful fish. And again, that's definitely a hybrid between a pumpkin seed and a bluegill. And looky there. Pinned him right in the nose. Ate it exactly like you want him to. See ya, bud. Cool. Okay, so good news. I just saw a dinky bass up in the shallows, so I really do feel like the bass are going to start moving up a little bit, and I have a feeling I'm going to start catching quite a few more. You got to give the sun a few minutes to really stay out, to really warm the shallows and get those bass to get, you know, excited about coming up in the shallows. It takes a little bit of time. Usually I'd say the best time to fish during this time of year is really any time from about 12 all the way to 4. The heat of the day where there's the highest sun, that is the best time you can really get out there. And it's still mid-morning, you know, it's not that late. I don't even think it's noon yet, so we've still got the best fishing ahead of us is basically what I'm saying. There he is. I knew I had a short strike. I dropped it back down there, and then this yellow perch came and got it. And I actually switched back to the workhorse jig because we're getting back in the area where there's a little bit more chop, so I wanted something that could sink a little faster. It's also a little steeper bank here. And there you go, man. There's actually quite a few of these little long, skinny hot dogs of yellow perch out to play today. Huh. I'll take it. I wish they were a little fatter though, but I'll certainly take it. See ya, bud. Whenever I bring up the fact that I love fishing to people, they're always like, oh, you must be so patient. And I'm like, no, I am the opposite of patient. I really don't have that much patience. And there you go. I was just talking about bass, and we got another little dink there. And, you know, that's why I like fishing with artificials, is because I'm really not that patient of a person. There you go. Well, he ate it right. Can't say he's exactly the size we're looking for. He's about the same size as those yellow perch, but he ate it right, so that's good. All right, buddy. Thanks for playing. Wait, what's this? I saw something. I saw a shadow after it. Looks like a small bass. Does he have it? Yeah, he does. It's got to be the twin bro, the last one I caught. Maybe it's the same fish. Who knows? Looks a little bigger. There you go. Man, we're catching some dinks today, baby. This one's so funny looking. He's kind of got like a really broken lateral line and a lot of dots on him. Cool looking fish. Little largemouth bass. See ya, bud. Okay, so quick update. That sun is really starting to climb in the sky, and it's definitely feeling noticeably warmer. This is the little jig that I'm primarily going to rely on right here. Like I said, it's that 1/32 ounce fire red with that ranch hand color burrow bug. And my friends, I'm starting to see a lot more activity, starting to see some largemouth, even just saw a big pike, just seeing a lot more fish slowly moving up. So I think I'm really going to focus in on this area. Fortunately, it's not too impacted by the wind, so I'm going to be able to kind of hold my position and really fish nice and slowly, which I think is good. And then I'm just going to really kind of focus here for a little while. Going to fish up and down the bank a little bit. That sun is beating this bank really well. You know, the sun's right there in this bank. You know, it's obviously getting as much sun as any other bank in the area. So that's obviously a huge pro. This time of year, you want to really find those banks that get a lot of sun, because those are going to be the places that you find that warmest water, and the fish are definitely going to notice. So I had this black and blue burrow bug rigged up on a 3/32 ounce mule jig, but I'm going to go ahead and take that off because I don't think black and blue will actually do me any good today. I'm actually going to go ahead and rig up a little drop shot on this rod, and I'm going to put a burrow bug on the drop shot just to show that it can also be used in other ways as well. The nice thing about that is it'll keep that bait right above the weed line and kind of allow it to be visible from farther away. So I'm going to try that. I'm not sure whether I'll use it a lot or not, but I'm going to give it a few casts. There you go. Little green pumpkin burrow bug on a drop shot. Let's try that out. There we go. Wonder if that's going to be one of the bass I saw. It's coming towards me. Oh, it's actually a big yellow perch again. Dadgum with the yellow perch. I have caught more of these fish than I would have ever expected. And I love to see it. Look at that one. He's got those black dots all over him, that little parasite deal. Huh, well, he liked the drop shot. Seems like a micro drop shot works quite well for yellow perch in general, but I definitely think that yellow perch like little crawfish because we've consistently caught some, you know, consistent size too. They're all about the same size. See ya, bud. I'm ready for one of those 16-inch bass, man. I know I'm gonna get one here shortly. I know that big bass are gonna eat this thing well. Speak of the devil, what's this? Oh, little dinky bass, I think. All right, I think that's my smallest bass yet. Well, the drop shot's working quite well. I've only made a handful of casts on it. I've already caught 2 fish. Not that they're big, but a fish is a fish. You know, versatility is always at the heart of the design when it comes to mule fishing gear, but I'd be lying if I told you that I wasn't thinking a lot about the creek fishing angler when it came to the design of this bait. I wanted something that really is a creek fishing killer, and that's exactly what this is designed to do. So that's the one thing I'm personally most excited to fish the burrow bug in, is really warm water creeks. You know, if I can find some smallmouth bass in some creeks or some small rivers, oh man, that's gonna be a blast. I have a feeling it's gonna just be lights out in those situations. So I can't wait. But that's a little ways down the road because we've got such high water, as I've mentioned a few times. That is an absolute micro. Okay, the micro drop shot works for micro bass. Good, good. Oh, snap. This fish was just holding on to it. Not a very big one. But I think I'm just going to kind of rock and roll with the micro drop shot paired with the mule jig. You know, the workhorse jig was working all right too, but I kind of like this micro drop shot just a little bit better for the conditions. There's a better fish, I think. That's gonna be a better fish because he's taking off towards deeper water. He knows how to fight. This fish might have been caught once or twice in his youth. Not gonna tell you it's a giant, but it's a lot more respectable for the ultralight. And when I say it's not a giant, it's not a giant, but it is a very, very decent fish now that I get a look at it. Very, very good fish for ultralight. Yes, sir, and it is a bigger largemouth, my friends. I should probably loosen my drag just a hair. He needs to be pulling a little bit more drag than he is. Holy smokes. That's a better fish. And that's what this bait is gonna be capable of doing. Why is my drag acting funky on me? I really don't want to end up breaking this fish off because of a drag mistake. All right, bud, there you go. And that's what this fish is capable of right there, my friends. That's what I've been looking for all day, is that random 15, 16 incher, and the hook just kind of fell right out. And that's a nice built one right there. It's probably about, I would say he's probably 16 inches maybe. Nice and fat though. That's what's wonderful about springtime fishing, my friends. I'm gonna let him get back in the water right away. Nice long fight. All right, cool. Well, I'm glad I landed that fish because the hook flopped out right when I got him in the net. And that's just the little green pumpkin. Sweet. How about them apples, my friends? I'll tell you what, I'm having fun out here. I love the fact that the weather is so nice. I love springtime, and I love it when it's sunny and there's not too much wind and I can just spend time in my kayak and really just enjoy it. This is great. It's even better because of the fact that I just launched this bait and I'm actually catching fish on it, and it really feels great. You know, the water conditions have not been that great lately, so the fact that I'm out here and able to catch quite a few fish, let alone on a new bait, it just feels really good. I'm just very happy right now. There's definitely some short striking somethings down there. There, you got him. Oh, it's just a short striking bass is what it was. He came up and bit that thing like 2 or 3 times before I got him. Not exactly a giant. Hooked him good the 3rd time around. There you go. He's kind of blue looking. Every now and again they get like that, like a purplish blue. I think I'm about to catch another largemouth. What's that? Well, that's gonna be a dinky largemouth. And now my drag's too loose. I think my drag was being goofy earlier. I don't know what's going on. Here's a dinky largemouth. Okay, I was kind of hoping to catch a little bit bigger largemouth than this. See ya, buddy. Drop shot's kind of becoming my best friend today. Jeez. Okay, this is honestly, these are all the bluegill I keep seeing. Somehow I managed to hook him on the underside of his lip when he was messing with my crawfish. Look at that. He's like twice the size of my burrow bug. That's an absolute micro. See ya, bud. All right, another micro. Well, we've caught a lot of fish. Only one respectable bass, but a lot of small ones. That'll happen. That'll happen when you're fishing ultralight stuff. You're gonna catch a lot of ultralight fish. That's just the way it goes. There you go. Well, we're catching a lot of fish this size.